All right, folks, we are continuing on. I know it's been a little bit of a pause. I'm going to try to get as many done as I can today. We are continuing on with our little series that we've done. It is a $100 mock draft competition within our Facebook group. Here is the group right here. This is the NFL Mock Draft, NFL Draft Fanatics Facebook group. We're just about to hit 19,000. We're growing pretty rapidly over there. So make sure you join in there. If you want to be a part of the competition, join in on the YouTube channel. It is kind of the same as this, I guess. I don't know. I'll try to remember to put a link somewhere, but make sure you're subscribed over there. The mock draft is based on Mr. Nick Reeder here, who did the Indianapolis Colts. And the bottom line is, whatever team of the 32 mock drafts that we do that gets the most views or likes or whatever, we'll figure that out when we cross that bridge. The person that did that mock is going to get $100. So Nick, best of luck. I know he's got a couple mocks out there that were selected. But anyways, Indianapolis Colts, going through their team real quick before we get into the mock. To be honest, I'm a little surprised at how good of a football team this is. We got to get Anthony Richardson rocking and rolling at quarterback. Hopefully he comes back healthy and can kind of take a little bit of a step. But that offensive line is looking pretty fantastic. Bernard Raymond, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, Braden Smith. I know Ryan Kelly's 31 years old, so maybe something to consider there at some point, but not, massive, urgent, needs to happen right this second. If we grab one sometime, fine. Wide receiver, Pittman is a free agent, but from what I understand, they're going to be putting the franchise tag on him. So I don't think he's going anywhere. They may end up working out a contract after that. Running back, obviously we got Jonathan Taylor. I don't know the status of that, if there are any issues there, but obviously we're good there with him. Tight end, we got a lot of bodies. We've got Granson in the final year of his deal. We got Mo Alley Cox, 31, final year of his deal. Andrew Ogletree, Will Mallory, Jelani Woods. I don't know how many of these guys are massively... we're super excited about him. Maybe. I don't know, Jelani Woods is kind of popping off or whatever, but maybe something to consider because I see a lot of bodies. But again, I don't know how many of these guys are legit studs. Defensively, again, really good players, but we got to start working out some contracts here. Kwity Paye is in the final year of his deal. Deo Odenigbo in the final year of his deal. DeForest Buckner at 30, final year. Taven Bryan's a free agent. Jacob Martin, Grover Stewart, Tyquan Lewis, all free agents. And I wonder about some of these guys if there's potentially some regression coming on. I mean, this is not standard for Ibukam, so that may be a little bit overblown. Same with, who was it? Maybe it was Stewart. I don't know. A little bit higher than you would expect, so I wonder if there's going to be some regression. So maybe something to consider there. Linebacker, we've got Zaire Franklin in the final year of his deal. EJ Speed, final year. Grant Stewart, final year of his deal. Gennard Avery is a free agent. So we got to kind of figure that out. Plus, talent upgrade wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. At corner, we got Moore, who is a very good football player, but he's a free agent. I don't know what we're doing with him. I'm assuming we're going to be paying him, but he's 29. It'd be nice to be able to keep him. Brent's 24 years old. He's going to be around, but not the most talented guy in the world. Also was injured quite a bit. But, I mean, we got bodies. I just don't know if we have talent. And with Kenny Moore maybe being kind of a short-term option, if an option at all, I think corner could be a serious consideration. And then at safety, Blackman is a free agent. Ronnie Harris is a free agent. So we got Nick Cross and we got Daniel Scott, which, again, I don't know necessarily from a talent standpoint. I mean, he had a decent year from PFF, but he only played a couple games, so that was kind of too small of a sample size to even really consider that. So anyways, and then our punter is a free agent, so that's maybe something to consider. Why don't we get into the mock draft, see what Nick Reeder did for us. With the 18th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson. So, and I wanted to add these in here too, since we've got a little bit of this. Obviously, Nate Wiggins ran his 4.28 40, so he's got some elite speed there. He's a little bit undersized, but I have to assume that helped his draft stock a little bit. As you can see, he's been a pretty solid player for Clemson for the last couple years. And again, getting back to this, we've got one guy here who's 30 years old. Aside from that, we're going to need something. So definitely need corner. We got one of the better ones to fall into our lap. So Nate Wiggins it is. With the 46th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Xavier Worthy. You want to talk about a guy that has been talked about a lot. And this mock draft was done February 23rd. This is before he did what he did. But 20 years old. He's not even 21 years old yet. He is a little smaller. In fact, I think he weighed in, 165. He's not even that. But his 4.22 unofficial was officially a 4.21. He did break the 40-yard dash record. Absolutely incredible. I have to assume, although there's going to be some skepticism about 165 and whatnot, I'm sure he's not going to, go up too high. I have to assume that helped his draft stock quite a bit. So we're adding some speed over here. And again, we've got Pittman. We're going to be keeping Pittman. Downs seems like a decent player. As a rookie, he comes in. He's got a pretty solid year. Was a top 50 wide receiver. But we need a little bit of help here. Pierce has not necessarily got it figured out quite yet. We'll see if year 3 he can get it. But we're going to go ahead and be proactive and bring in who is about to be the fastest person in the NFL. I mean, Tyreek Hill has held that, especially among wide receivers, for a long time. This guy, he hit, 24.5 miles an hour? I've never seen, 23 point whatever is kind of like top end from what I've seen from Tyreek and the running back and whatever else. He's hitting 24.5. This guy has got next level speed. So going a little bit of a different direction than what we had with Pierce, although, again, still hopefully he can do something. With the 68th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select McKinley Jackson, defensive tackle out of Texas A&M. 4 years over at Texas A&M. He's had good last couple years, the last year in particular. Tackling is obviously a bit of an issue. He is 325 pounds, so he's going to be more of a run-defending type of guy, and as you can see, that is more of his speed. 14 pressures on 228 attempts is pretty putrid, and as you can see, the sacks are pretty non-existent. So you know what you're getting with this guy. Not a hyper-athletic guy, 3.52 RAS. Weight is really the only thing he excels at, so that's never a good sign. He's a run defender. That's what he is, so he's going to help bolster that D-line, but in one very specific kind of a way. With the 118th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Thomas Harper. They have it down as a safety here. He is a safety/slot corner type of guy, so I'm not sure exactly what direction we're going to be going. We do need a safety, so he can come up and be that box safety for us. Or if we need a slot, again, I don't know that that's going to be the worst thing in the world. I believe Brent's is our slot, if I'm not mistaken. No, it actually has more in the slot. It's kind of weird. So probably not a slot. He's probably going to end up being our safety, it looks like, because we're not moving on for more, I don't think. But he spent 4 years at Oklahoma State and then kind of blew up at Notre Dame, so he's not going to be the youngest guy in the world. I don't have any measurables from him from the combine. I don't know if he wasn't invited or what, but 5'10", 195 is what we're going to stick with for now until we get some pro day numbers. But got a safety. With the 150th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Javon Solomon, edge rusher out of Troy. So, as I mentioned before, as far as the edge rushers are concerned, I'm not sure if some of these guys might maybe be a little bit overrated. Samson Ebukam is probably not quite that good. And then you got Kwity Paye, decent, right? But mostly run defense, not even so much pass rush. So we could use some help. And again, we've got some guys like Tyquan Lewis and Jacob Martin who are free agents. Deo Odenigbo, I don't think is necessarily proven to be an elite prospect. So it's definitely something to be considered. Don't have any historical stuff. I don't know why that's not working. But he had a really good year. 91 PFF grade, 82 run defense, 74 tackling, 91 pass rush. He had 48 pressures on 335 attempts and 17 sacks. I know it's Troy. I get it. That's still pretty impressive numbers. And then you come over here. Maybe not the greatest thing. He's a little bit undersized, as you can see. Decent 40 time. The 10-yard split, not as much. The most important thing for pass rushers right here, the vert. He did very, very well. 10-yard split's another pretty important one. He wasn't as good, but that explosion is kind of what you're looking for. So at least he's got that. There's something to maybe invest in for a sort of late round edge rusher. And then finally, with pick 232, the Indianapolis Colts select Dylan McMahon, who is a guard/center I think they have him down as a center here. He was drafted as a guard. He's going to be an interior guy one way or another. As I mentioned, we've got Ryan Kelly, who is 31 years old and in the final year of his deal, so a center wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, although, as you look at it, presumably, don't mind my war hammer in the background, probably this is what we're thinking here. So he's probably going to be looking to play right guard and then possibly moving into center as time moves on. Not going to be the youngest guy in the world. He spent 5 years at NC State, never really excelled at much. His pass blocking did take a step up, but he's obviously got some really inconsistent games mixed in here. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I don't see a ton to work with there. And then you can see he didn't do any of the drills here. It doesn't even have any measurements, so I don't have much to go on. But that's going to do it for our mock draft here. Here is the final recap of all the picks done by Mr. Nick Reeder. And let me know in the comments what you think. And again, if this one gets enough love, he will end up winning $100. So best of luck to you, sir. Have a good one. Bye-bye.